right, let's get it. So the next one is the task tool, but this is actually where you got to use your human brain, right? Is because right here it says task tool, but it says how sub agents communicate. They don't, and I'm going to actually ask them that, which is I'm going to copy this right here, and I'm going to go back into the curriculum. Okay. Quick question before we go ahead and actually start the next lesson, which I'm recording because it seems that on the outline that you've created for me to prepare me for the exam, that the next lesson should be on the outline is as you can see, it's how sub-agents communicate. Spoiler, they don't unless you engineer it. And then it's the task tool, and then it's the 3 exam practice questions. If we're skipping that, just to go straight to the task tool, I'm okay either way. You let me know what's good before I go ahead and actually paste, before we actually go ahead and activate the next prompt. Section log. Let me know. I also need a YouTube title to go with it that's highly searchable. You know how we know we are recording this entire session even as I'm talking to you right now. Good catch. You did not skip anything. Here's what housing they don't concept was already covered inside the housing. Specifically, you learn, which is what I thought. So the actual sequence right now is the task tool is next. Okay, all right. So task tool explain how AI agents spawn other AI agents. Non-technical breakdown. I like that. And I'm just gonna go with the first option. And then paste the session log when you're ready to go, and we're ready. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go back up here, and I'm gonna take this session log right here. I'm ready. Here's the session log. Na, na, okay, the business analogy first. You're the founder, you're a swamp, you hire chief of staff. As with everything else, I'm going to go ahead and move over a blank Google Doc. Make sure that we keep everything nice and tidy. So we don't need this because we technically did cover it. So this is the task tool. So this is the task tool explain. That's going to be the YouTube title. So we got that right there, and I'm feeling good about that. I'm going to pop this thing down. Okay, boom. And then the next thing I'm going to go ahead and actually do here is, before I start building anything, I'm going to take all of this right here. I'm going to take all of that right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste it. And then the next thing here is, well, I had also all this other information up here. I'm going to paste this thing down here so it's like normal. I'm copy that, scroll all the way up. Perfect. And now I'm gonna have this Gucci. And then I can't forget to go out there and actually give this bad boy title. Task tool explained. Right. So now I have all that. Next thing here, I'm gonna go back. And okay, I have all this information. I'm gonna copy this. In the code that you've already built, what was the task tool equivalent? Let's look at the function. Your build does not require new collab code. Instead, I want you to look at the hub and spoke code you already ran and answer this question aloud on the camera. In the code that you've already built, what was the task tool equivalent? The role parameter, a task prompt, the function itself, the task tool spawn. You've already built the task tool concept manually. The task tool in the agent SDK is this pattern formalized automated control. Okay, so say this out loud. The task tool is not a new concept. It is the pattern I already built. One agent spawning from another turned into official production grade feature. The difference is that in the agent SDK, the coordinator designs when to spawn the sub-agent autonomously. I do not have to tell it when to delegate. It figures that out from the goal I give it. Okay, now I'm just kind of curious here. Okay, so the practice question number 1, scenario. Now 3 domain 1 practice questions. Scenario, practice question number 1 scenario, multi-agent research system. A coordinator agent is given the goal, research competitive landscape for techcareers.io and produce a report. It spawns 2 sub-agents for a task. Sub-agent 1 researches direct competitors. Sub-agent 2 researches the market size and growth trends. Sub-agent 1 discovers that the largest competitor shut down last month. The coordinator collects both results and passes them to sub-agent 2 to add the market context. Sub-agent 2 produces the market analysis that treats the competitor as still active. What is the root cause of failure? Okay. Research wrong tools. The coordinator passed sub-agent 1's raw results over but did not explicitly highlight the competitor shutdown as critical context. The task tool prompt for sub-agent was 2 and exceeded the context, and sub-agent 1 should have directly notified. We know it's not this one because sub-agent 1 does not talk to sub-agent 2. Coordinator passed results but did not explicitly highlight the competitor shutdown as a critical moment. Let's see if we got it right. Woo! Okay, all right. And then critical like this. The tools work fine. That's what I thought. Context limit has nothing to do with it. D, okay, this is the part that most people get wrong in the exam. Ready for practice question 2? Let's get it. Scenario 2, right? So like customer resolution, support resolution agent. You are building a customer support agent. And I'll just let you guys know this. They're pulling these questions based upon the research that we have in these Google Docs. So you are building a customer success agent using Claude Agent SDK. The agent has access to 3 tools. Get customer, lookup order, process refund. A coordinator spawns a sub-agent to handle the routine order status inquiry. The sub-agent is given access to all 3 tools via allow tools. 3 days later, your finance team reports unauthorized refunds being processed automatically without human approval. What is the most likely architectural cause? The system prompt did not tell the sub-agent to ask for human approval for refunds. The process reader was too vague, causing accident triggers. Okay, the allow tools, process refund, violating at least privilege. The coordinator should have handled the refunds directly instead of delegating it to a sub-agent. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. A coordinator spawns a sub-agent to handle a routine orders, and the sub-agent is given all the access to allow tools. I think it's this one. Like, a system prompt did not tell the sub-agent to ask for human approval before refunds. And I think I'm just going to assume that a human approval should be required before initiating refunds, right? I don't think AI should ever get to that point. But this is an exam, so who knows? Whoa. Damn. Okay, why A is wrong. This is an exam trap. See? Exam trap. This is how they try to trap your ass, yeah? This is how they try to, like, I don't want to say the word. You know what you. Okay, alright. So, okay, why D is wrong, why B is wrong. Updated score. Alright. Man, I feel like my anxiety level right now just shot up. Like I'm playing Squid Game. Multi-agent research system. Your multi-agent research system has just been running in production for 2 weeks. A coordinator manages 4 sub-agents. Sub-agent 1, 2, 3, and 4. Users are reporting that final reports sometimes contain outdated statistics. After investigation, you discover that sub-agent 3 is synthesizing findings correctly, but is receiving summaries from sub-agent 2 that strip out publication dates and source URLs. What is the correct fix? Instruct sub-agent 3 to ask sub-agent 2 for source dates directly when needed. Well, sub-agent 3 can't talk to sub-agent 2. Modify sub-agent 2 to return the structured outputs that include the publication dates and sources as metadata fields. Add a system prompt instruction to sub-agent 3 telling it to flag any statistics without data. Replace sub-agent 2 with a more capable model. I'm going to go with C. Okay, correct answer is B. Let me show you exactly why B is correct. The problem is not in the sub-agent 3. Let's take a look at this. Modify sub-agent 2 to return the structured outputs that includes... Oh, man. My head is hurting right now so hard. But this requires so much brain energy. That's why, like, every single time I'm done with these videos, I gotta go lie down for at least, like, 10 minutes. It's not something that I can even go out there and just grind out through. Why is C wrong? Okay, why is it a reasonable guess? And why is it I like that. I did tell in the prompt, I want you to be very compassionate. Why B is correct? Okay, the problem is not sub-agent 3 synthesizing the... sub-agent 3 synthesizing correctly. It just never receives the metadata it needs. The problem is upstream. Sub-agent 2 is stripping out the publication date, source, URLs. Your fix of the problem is source. Is at the source, not downstream. It's upstream. Option B fixes the root cause. Modify sub-agent 2 to return structured outputs. Make publication dates and source URLs required metadata fields. Every downstream agent automatically receives the complete data. Why C is wrong and why is it a reasonable guess? C adds a system prompt to sub-agent 3 telling it to flag statistics without dates. Here's why that fails. Sub-agent 3 cannot flag what it never received. If sub-agent 2 strips the dates before sending, sub-agent 3 sees the statistics with no dates attached. It has no way of knowing dates ever existed. Telling it to flag missing dates is like telling someone to notice a book that was never put on their desk. This is the part that most people get wrong. You cannot prompt your way out of a data pipeline problem. If the data is wrong at the source, every agent downstream receives wrong data. So no instruction fixes the missing information. Why A is wrong. Sub-agents cannot communicate directly with each other. That much we do know. This is a sub-agent isolation. Same trap as question number 1. Any questions suggesting that? Why D is wrong. The data structure problem is not a model capability problem. Upgrading to a more capable model does not change what fields sub-agent 2 returns, swapping the models, right? So your domain 1 final score, I got a 67%. What the score tells you, 2 wrong answers, both follow the same pattern. Here's the pattern. Both times you chose the prompt based upon, chose the prompt-based fix over the architectural fix. On question 2, you chose the system prompt over allowed tools. You chose the downstream instructions over the fixed source. This is the single most common mistake non-technical people make on this exam, and the fact that you made it twice in a row tells me exactly what to drill before your mock exam. The rule to memorize permanently, prompt instructions, suggestions, architectural changes, guarantee equals guarantees. The exam always rewards guarantees over suggestions. I just got 2 out of 3 on my first domain. I just got 2 out of 3 on my first domain 1 practice set. Both wrong answers had the same pattern. I kept reaching for the prompt fix. That's how I was wired to think, when the correct answer was always the architectural fix. This is the most important lesson from today. Claude certification does not test whether or not you write good prompts, because I'm so used to using Claude Chat. I mean, look at how I'm even approaching solving the problem or preparing for this exam, right? So it's just normal for me to think that it tests whether or not you know when prompts are enough. Okay, all right. So 90% covered. We still haven't covered Claude Code yet. Honest assessment. Okay, so I'm going to take all this. We got some work to do, but putting yourself out there, this is actually how people get good at this stuff, you know? When you're putting yourself out there, this is how it is that you're learning. Okay, I'm going to take this. And honestly, I've been at this for like so long right now. Like, no joke, I just need a break. And that's exactly what I'm going to go ahead and do. That's exactly what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to go for a quick run. But like, I think like cramming everything into like, I got done with week 1 and week 2 largely in 2 days. I started on Saturday. Today's like Sunday. If I keep up at this, I know like after work hours, I'm just going to be getting through this. I don't think for the time, right now it's like 8 o'clock Sunday night. I don't think I have any more bandwidth to get through this, nor really should I. I'm just going to go ahead and actually just wait it out a little bit because I went through I don't understand all of it, and I think this is actually kind of the weird thing is like some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't make sense. You still got to go ahead and actually drill. But overall, I feel a lot better than like when I first started this. I was looking at all 4 like, oh, hell to the no, this is not happening for me, yo. And I felt pretty discouraged, and I felt pretty like, I would say, I felt pretty like a high degree of anxiety and imposter syndrome. But yeah, I decided, you know, how would I go ahead? I don't know why. I could have just sat in class with like everybody else, but I wanted to I'm so stupid competitive that I wanted, even though we have not officially kicked off the cohort yet, I wanted to just get like a 1-up on everybody. And I was like, okay, how would I do this if I was to take it all the way on my own? Like Tony Stark, Iron Man 1 when he was in the cave, right? Okay, all right. All the resources are here. If you guys haven't scheduled a call yet for our program, I think it's probably time for you to go ahead and schedule. But this isn't going anywhere. We're right here. I'll talk to you all very soon. I need to lie down.